Hi everybody, hope you're doing well today. Items that I am going to flip with a fall flare today. Later on in the video, I am also going to show you what we're giving away for this video. If you're not familiar, I'm doing a giveaway for my March to 10,000 subscribers, and I will tell you more about that later on in the video. Also, I have another contest giveaway that I'm going to start. And so if you guys are interested in that, stay tuned till later and I'll go ahead and explain it later on in the video. Hope you enjoy.
Okay, so projects number 1 and 2, they're very similar. I have these boards. I used one a couple weeks ago. It's actually a carved out piece of board. I think they were 50 cents. I found the price tag on one of them. So, and I don't even know if I paid that. They may have been the free stack. I'm taking some salt wash, which is a texture additive, and I'm going to be adding some paint to that, and I'm using Fusion's plaster, which is it's about the color of drop cloth. It's a little bit darker white if you want that. And I'm going to use that to go over the edges of these boards. I want it to have some texture. I'm going to do just about 1.5 inches on the edges with the texture, and then I'm going to also do the sides with the texture, and I'm going to do both boards with that. I'm just stippling this on, and I'm not going for full coverage, and I'm just going to go over it one time. I want it to look pretty much, this is going to look like a very vintage old piece when it's done. So I want the texture, and I don't mind if some of that dark brown or black shows through on the edges. I am going to go in and paint the entire middle portion of this, just because I'm going to be putting a drop cloth on top of it, and I don't want you to be able to see through any of the dark color in the back. I'm not trying to fill in any of the carved out pieces of this. I'm just trying to cover up the color. And Fusion has a top coat and a sealer, so I don't have to do anything else to this paint. Even the paint that has the salt wash in it, basically I'm just going to paint it on and I'll be done. So I am working on the second one, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing to it. I'm just prepping it for what we're going to do next. So I'm going to just stipple on one coat with the salt wash on the edges and on the sides, and then in the middle I'm just going to go over it with the Plaster Fusion paint plain. So I have ripped 2 pieces of drop cloth that fit on top, and I'm going to spray it with a mixture of matte clear coat and water, and that is so that my transfers will go on easier. And what I'm using is Millet's Pages, and I'm going to go ahead and I take about 1 inch off the top, and then I put it down. I don't undo the whole sticker. And the reason that I put that clear coat on and let it soak in and dry is that drop cloth is porous. Some of your papers are porous. And if you put a clear coat down first, it is a lot easier to get that transfer off. And this transfer has a lot of little teeny tiny like numbers and some words at the bottom. And so having a smoother surface will make it easier for this to come off. So I've picked out 2 pages, one with the mushrooms, and then this one has pretty much pumpkins and your root vegetables. I just start with a little, about 1.5 inch strip instead of just taking the entire backing off. And I'm using that little board to have something hard to rub on. It makes it a little bit easier. And like I said, spraying this and letting it dry completely with the clear coat makes it a lot easier to get that transfer on a drop cloth, or if you're using a very porous paper or old paper, spray it with the clear coat. You can even use hairspray, but a clear coat will work better. And then I'm just going to go ahead and work on getting all of the little pieces off on this. There's a lot of little tiny numbers and words on this, so you really have to kind of make sure you go over all of it. It's not necessarily hard, it's just it's not like all big one sticker piece. It's a lot of little tiny pieces. And I'm going to put that on that drop cloth, and look how beautiful that looks. Isn't that pretty? So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to go ahead and I'm using some Ranger ink to go around the edges, and I believe this is Vintage Photo. It is a water-based product, and I'm going to take that all the way around the edges, and I'm also going to spritz it with water and take a wipe and just kind of blend it in so it doesn't look like a line, and go all the way around the edges. And then I'm going to be adding just a little bit of paint to that, and a little bit just to kind of vintage it up a little bit more. I do both of them, and I decide that I want to really accentuate the edges of it a little bit. Partly too, I put a little bit too much, see, in that corner, and when I go to wipe it back, it kind of smears. So in order to fix that, I go in with some of that same Fusion plaster, and I kind of blend it in around the edges. It really will blend in almost to the color of the drop cloth. It's just going to basically kind of frame it out, and I do that around both of them. Now I'm going to take hot glue, and I'm just going to put a hot glue around the edges, a little bit in the middle. I'm not going to put too much in there. I don't want it all lumpy. And then I'm going to take some thumbtacks and just put one in each corner. The glue is basically holding it onto the board, but the thumbtacks are just really a decoration. And then I'm just going to take some clear wax and go over the whole thing. This is to protect the transfer, and it also will give it a nice matte finish to it. So after I put the wax on, I wipe off any of the extra wax. And that's it. That's our project. I think these turned out really great. I think they'll be really cool, and took something that was pretty much trash, and I don't know. These will sell. Any artwork sells for me, and stuff like this is really very popular. I'll probably sell these for about $28 a piece. All right, project number 3. This is something that was very, very easy to do because I didn't do a whole lot to it. I've had this tray and it's a little outdated, and I, it was basically next to nothing for it. So I'm going to clean it really good with alcohol. I'm going to get all the stickers off of it, all the sticker residue. I am going to leave this with the black on the bottom of it, and then I'm going to also leave that distressed black and white look that you see there. And all I'm going to do is I am going to take that same Plaster by Fusion. It is an all-in-one paint, and I'm going to be decoupaging. I like to use a lighter color under decoupage so that you can see the decoupage paper. And I have a brush that I'm just going to cut in around the corners so that I don't have to repaint that other portion. It's really not black. It's actually like a very dark brown. So I'm going to just go over this with one coat and let it dry completely. So I have this decoupage paper, and it's not going to all of it fit in there. I'm going to have to cut off part of it. So I just put it in there with my fingers, and with my fingernail I just made a line of where I need to cut it. And because this is a fairly straight piece, I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler. I did wet it first, and that's still going to give me an organic edge to it. But this part is going to fit pretty snug inside the tray, so I want to get it pretty right. The other two sides are going to leave a little bit of a gap, but that's okay. We're going to fill it in later. And I'm going to use the water method. This is rice paper, so when you tear it, it'll give you a very organic kind of fibrous look to it. And I'm going to go around the whole thing and just kind of pinch where I want to pull off the paper, and I want to just take that white edge off all the way around. After I've tore out all the edges, I'm going to make sure that it fits in there right, and you can see on the right and the left there's a little bit of a gap, but that's okay. The reason I picked the color plaster is that it will blend in really well later. And I basically decoupaged this down, and I used Paint Couture's Extreme Guard Satin as my decoupage medium. So I put it down with that, and after I put it down, basically I just took my hand in a plastic baggie and went over the whole thing, just to make sure that it's all down good. And then I'm going to take my heat gun, and I'm going to use that heat gun to take out any bubbles that I might have. I went over it with another coat of that Extreme Guard Satin, and I'm going to go ahead and dry it completely. And I also did the rest of the tray with the Extreme Guard Satin because I don't really know what was on it, so this way it'll protect it. And now all I'm doing is I am taking Paint Couture Amber Honey Glaze, and I'm going to go around the edges of this and just kind of blend that plaster in so that it kind of all blends in with the decoupage paper and also with the tray. And after I get it all on there, I'm going to wipe a lot of it back and just kind of blend it all in. And it will just actually kind of bring it all together to where it all just kind of looks like the rest of the decoupage paper, so you don't really notice that gap. And then I'm taking one more coat of that Paint Couture's Extreme Guard Satin and going over the whole thing, just to give it another layer of protection after I put that Amber Honey Glaze on it. And I will just let that dry completely, and that is it. This is a super easy project, and I think it turned out really pretty. I didn't do much to it, and I think it's a cute little tray. I will probably sell this for about $22. Okay, so this is our giveaway for this video. It's Flora and Vine. It just recently came out by IOD. It is a stamp set that is really, really fun to use. Anyway, that is going to be going into our suitcase for my March to 10,000 giveaway. If you're unfamiliar with that, I am almost to 10,000 subscribers and I'm going to have a big giveaway. The way you enter that contest is you just make a comment on a video, any video, old or new, one comment per video, and that enters you into the contest as long as you're a subscriber. So just be a subscriber and comment on a video and that will get you in. And this is everything that I have already in my suitcase that I'm going to be giving away very, very soon, guys. It's not going to all go to one person. I will probably have drawings over several videos just so that it doesn't all go to one person. I want to kind of spread it around as much as possible. And if you're out of the country, I won't be giving away anything in that thing, but I will be doing a drawing for free product, $25 free product on my website. Okay, project number 4. I don't know if you guys know this, but when they have their clearance sales at the Woodpile at Hobby Lobby, or their clearance sales in general, you can get stuff cheaper than you can get it in a thrift store. So I got this little crate. I actually got a lot of things. They were marked like 75% off of stuff, and I just grabbed a lot of things. So I am going to be using chalk paint over this, and whenever you're using chalk paint on raw wood, you really need to seal it first if you want any kind of chipping or crazing or anything like that. So I am going to be using the Fusion Plaster. I could use any kind of primer, anything on this, but I had it out on my desk, and Fusion has a primer and a top coat built in. Now, to be fair, I probably should have gone over this 2 coats. I only did 1, but it's going to turn out pretty good anyway. So what I'm doing is I am mixing some milk paint, and I am using Sweet Pickins Artichoke, and it's equal parts water to powder. So I put 2 scoops of the powder, and now I'm going to put 2 scoops of the water. After I mix that all up, I'm going over my crate that I've already painted with plaster. But to be fair, what happened on this is that because it's raw wood, most of that plaster paint just got sucked up with the crate. So I probably should have done a second coat of the plaster and then put my milk paint on, but it's going to turn out good anyway. So we're going over this with the first coat of this paint. Now I make sure that between coats that I use my heat gun, because I want a little bit of crackling. I don't really want any chipping, but I do want to have a little of the crazing and the little of the old look that milk paint gives you. Even if it doesn't chip, it does this really, well, you'll see in the end, but there's really nothing like it, guys. If you haven't tried milk paint yet, you should try it if you like that old-timey look. But I go with my heat gun and I will dry it with that. Here you can kind of see the cracking and crazing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sand off any loose parts of this. and also kind of distress it a little on the edges. And now what I'm doing is I've got some IOD molds out, and this is the Autumn Cottage and Hello Pumpkin. Hello Pumpkin is a retired mold, but the Autumn Cottage, I believe I still have some of those. I did have some Hello Pumpkins. I don't know, I'll have to check and see if I still have any. I don't know if I have it on my website. I may have some at my locations that I can bring over. If you're interested, let me know. But I'm going to go ahead and go over this with 2 coats of Fusion's Alchemy terracotta. And this stuff really does look like terracotta, and their Alchemy paint is a really good paint. It has a very, very flat finish to it, and so it will look like terracotta when I'm done, and I'll go over 2 coats and let it dry. Now that it's all dry, see, doesn't it look like terracotta? I am going to take a liming from Fusion. This is their white wax. I love their waxes. They're so creamy. And I'm going to go over all of these pieces with this white wax because it's going to further make this look like a terracotta piece. I'm going to go over the whole thing and get in all those little nooks and crannies. And now I'm wiping back most of it to where mainly the white is just really in all of the detail crevices and things like that. I'm wiping off most of the wax off of the top, and I'm letting the white stay in all the other parts. Now I'm taking Sweet Pickins Grit. It's kind of like a dust, and I'm going to put it on these castings, and it will fill in a lot of that white and make it kind of a grayish brown kind of color to make it look more authentically vintage and old and not so brand new. Whenever I use the white any white wax, I think that adding this grit to it, I'm not completely covering the wax, but through some of it, I think it makes it look a little bit more authentically old. The grit has to have wax or something for it to hang on to. Now I am going over this whole thing with Sweet Pickins Dark Oil Wax. I leave it on for 10 minutes and then I wipe it back. Look at all that beautiful crazing on there. And there would be even more if you were to seal your wood with a shellac or some sort of a sealer before you paint it with milk paint. But I like the look that we're getting here. I wasn't looking for a lot of chipping. So now all I'm doing is I am taking some of my CA glue. It has an accelerant that it's basically super glue with a spray that accelerates it. And I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. And then I'm going to glue my pieces down where I want them. This will hold it really well. And I've just basically decided I'm going to put different pieces on different sides, and I mainly made this decision because I already had these cast and I wanted to use them. And, you know, why not? But you definitely could just take the Autumn Cottage pieces and, you know, do them the same on both sides or whatever. So, but I just decided I'm going to go ahead and use the pieces that I have, and they're going to be a little different on both sides. So after I glue all those on, I just have some, actually there were some used pieces of some floral foam that I put in the bottom of the box. I didn't glue it in, I just put it in there. And I also have some used moss and grasses. Sorry about my head, my angle is not all that good on this. I don't know why. I was trying hard to get it to where you could see what I was doing, and the angle of my camera is not all that good. So I put some glue in all those little slits there, and I shoved some moss and some greenery in there so that you couldn't see the floral foam. And I went ahead and did that all over, just around the edges. I didn't worry about the bottom, but I did that all around the edges. Then I took this cute little scarecrow that I had. I'm thinking I probably got him at Hobby Lobby at some point. This is just a stash of fall stuff that I had, guys. I'm just using what I have. And now I'm going to take some sunflowers and put those in. The way that I do my floral arrangements is what I put on one side, I put on the other side, front, back, etc., side to side. And I usually put my bigger pieces in first, and then I fill in with my smaller pieces. So I'm going to take these sunflowers and I'm going to put them on the four edges of this. And of course I maneuver things around as I go. I put as much as I can directly into the foam. I only glue in pieces that have to be glued in, that aren't going to stay, that I don't have any way to stick them in there. And I just go around and I do that all the way around, and I'm going to add just the pieces that I think will work. And it's just a process of, you know, trying different things out, moving it around. And this is fun. I love doing this stuff. I'm obviously not a professional, but I just love having a big stack of stuff that I got and trying to figure out how it's going to look good. And I'm basically throwing all different colors in there. Last year I did a lot of neutral things, and I will do a few neutral ones as well. But this year I wanted to use up some of my stash that have all these different colors in it, and that's why I did this. So these are some little pumpkins I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to put this in front of our little scarecrow and make sure I put some glue down there so that it doesn't move. And I've got some smaller pumpkins on the side, another pumpkin on the back. So you see what I'm saying is I basically try and kind of balance it out. And I'm putting some glue down there to make sure the scarecrow doesn't keep moving on me. And later on I actually put another stick in there and then some other things in there. And I will add in as I go the smaller pieces. I'll fill in all the way around until I think it looks good. And then usually the last things that I add are like some little wispy greenery pieces. I'll put some of those in, and I'll just keep going until I like it. I make sure it looks good all the way around. And here we go. Here's our cute little piece. I like it. I think it turned out really, really cute. And I will probably sell this for about $48.
Okay guys, this is the rules to our new contest. It's a little complicated, so follow me here. I believe that there are a lot of YouTubers out there that are fantastic, amazing. They put out really good quality videos. They put a lot of work behind their videos, and they just don't get the recognition that they deserve. So I want you to help me recognize them. So what you're going to do is you are going to drop in my comments any YouTuber that you think needs to be elevated. They have to have under 1,000 subscribers. So it needs to be a small YouTube channel that people just don't know are out there that you think put out good quality videos that we should all be looking at. So just drop in the comments. You can give me the link, you can give me the name of their channel, and I will check it out. What I'm going to do is I am going to once a month pick a channel, okay, and I am going to replicate something that they've made on their channel, not identical of course, but just be inspired by. And what I'm going to do is ask you as my subscribers to go to their channel, that whatever person I pick out, and you're going to go to their channel and you're going to go ahead and leave a comment and subscribe. And you're just going to leave your comment and put subscribe. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out of those people and I'm going to give you whatever it is that I make. Okay, for instance, I am going to pick House of Fritz. My friend Stephanie puts out amazing videos, and she's only got a handful out there now, and she's brand new, but I think the quality of her videos are fantastic. And you know, she doesn't have very many subscribers. I don't even think she has 100 yet. So what I want to do is I am going to go ahead and make something you know, that I've seen her make similar to it. And then what I will do with that is that I will go ahead and have that as my giveaway. And the way that I will pick out of that is that you will go over to her channel. You will watch her video, and then you will just put on there subscribe, or great work Stephanie, subscribe. And then what I will do is I will go look at her comments, and out of those people I will have a drawing and I will give you what I made. So I think that's a great way to help lift up other YouTubers and also make our community even bigger. So I hope you take part in this. And so the first one is going to be Stephanie from House of Fritz, and I'm going to make something similar to what she did, and then I will be giving that away. All you have to do is go over to her channel and subscribe and make a comment, and just type in the comment subscribe, and then I will pick out of those and you will win what I make. Okay, and then in the future what I need from you, because obviously I don't know all the channels that are out there, is for you to give me suggestions in my comments. So I hope all of that makes sense to you guys, and I hope that you participate, because I think it would be a really great way to elevate some of these people. And I think a lot of people out there will really enjoy finding these new YouTubers out there that, you know, sometimes just get buried. All right, hope that makes sense.
Okay, project number 5 is going to be something that Stephanie made at House of Fritz. Not exactly the same, but she did a clipboard. And I do clipboards too all the time. I love clipboards. I sell them all the time. This is going to be a fairly easy one. I am going to put a zip tie on this to keep the clip open. I've got 2 pieces of decoupage paper. I believe I have these in my stash. I've got a ton of new decoupage paper in, guys, if you haven't seen it yet. A lot of fall stuff, but a whole lot of Christmas stuff. A lot of you have been buying it up, but I have been trying to restock when I can, and I'm getting new stuff in all the time. So anyway, I am going to be painting this with Alchemy by Fusion, and this is the color Amber. They have some beautiful vintagey looking colors in the Alchemy line. If you like that kind of primitive, I don't know, you know, the blues and the reds and I don't know. You just have to look. But anyway, this color I think is very, very fall looking. And I'm going to go over this with 2 coats. These clipboards paint up really well. I buy mine in bulk off of Amazon. They're very inexpensive. They're about as inexpensive as you can get them thrifted. So when you buy them in bulk, and I tend to sell these for $15 to $22 depending upon what I do to them. But I'm going to go ahead and paint this with 2 coats of this Alchemy paint. And then I'm going to use the water method to tear out my pieces of decoupage paper. One smaller than the other. I'm putting the larger piece on the front. But I'm going to go around it to get all that white off. And I like that edge to be a little bit organic because it tends to blend in really well. I'm not painting my piece a white color. I feel like this amber is light enough that this will show up pretty good on the clipboard. So I'm going to go all the way around both pieces. And we're going to get ready to decoupage those on. So I am using Paint Couture's Extreme Guard Satin as my decoupage gel again. You can use this as a top coat. You can use it as a decoupage agent. It's really very versatile. Anyway, I'm going to put this on the whole thing, and then I put it on the whole piece. Rice paper is very, very easy to use. It doesn't wrinkle very much. You can move it around. It's pretty strong. You just don't want to overwork it with your hands or get it overly wet because you'll basically dissolve the paper. So I'm taking a plastic baggie and I'm going to get all of the little lumps and bumps or smooth it out. Usually there's very little on rice paper. And then I always take my heat gun as well on these, and I use that to basically make sure any lumps or bumps or whatever go down. It'll flatten them out completely and make sure it's adhered. And I will go over the whole thing with that, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing to the back. And now I'm just going to go over the front and the back with a coat of that Extreme Guard Satin and make sure it's completely dry. And this is going to protect it. This would be a great thing to give to people, you know, for a little recipe card holder. We always have so many great recipes during Thanksgiving. That's why I think this would be a really fun thing to maybe even give as a housewarming. Now I'm going to take some Pigment Fix by Pentart. I'm going to add some copper metallic powder by Pentart as well. It comes in multiple colors: gold, antique gold, copper, silver, There's a beautiful kind of pinkish red color. There's just a lot of different colors. And you just add it to the pigment fix. It does not take very much. This stuff will last you a really long time. And the one thing about this, I always usually make it in these little cups that I get from the Dollar Tree because I like to keep a top on it when I'm not using it. It dries really quick. It adheres to just about anything. So I am going to take this and put this on the silver part of the clipboard. And believe it or not, it will stick really well, and it is not coming off. So it does take a couple coats just because this is kind of a slick surface. You could prime your surface first, but I have done this before, and this stuff really does stick to just about anything. And I'm going to go over the whole thing and get in all the little nooks and crannies. And then I have this leaf, and this leaf is from the oak leaves mold from IOD, and I am going to also paint it with, see, that's just one coat, guys, with that same copper mix. Now I'm going to just take a little brush and I'm just going to go around the edges. I'm not going for perfection here, but I just want to bring that copper down to another place on the piece. I think that will tie it all together. And I'm just going to kind of lightly brush all the way around. And I'm going to do this on the front and the back and on the sides of this piece. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that CA glue. I'm going to take a little popsicle stick and spread it around. And I'm going to take that leaf that we painted, and that is going to be my piece. I like to use resin pieces just because when people open and close this, I don't want a piece that I put on there to break. I just about always put something up there. I don't know, I just do. And this glue, it will stick, guys. So you just spray your accelerant on and it's on there. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and add a little bit of a patina to this copper. There is a lot of this blue and green in the pumpkins. So I'm going to add some of that to this copper. I'm spraying it with water because I want it to be kind of drippy. This is a patina from Pentart, and they have a blue, a green, and I'm also going to add some of their brown. These are all just their different patinas or that they have. They're just an antique and glaze, and I'm going to go over all of them, and I'm wipe back some, add some, go back and forth until I get it to the point that I want it. And I'm going to be adding it on the rest of the copper. And now I'm going to take some of the brown glaze and I'm going to go around the edges and I'm going to wipe it back with the rag just to kind of vintage it up a little bit. You could definitely skip that part. I'm purposely not going on my decoupage paper. You notice it's got like a kind of a brown edge to it. So this is just kind of make it mesh all together a little bit better. And if I get too much on because I went ahead and I put that top coat on, I can wipe back as much as I want. So here's our finished clipboard that you can win. All you have to do is go over to House of Fritz. I will put the link in the description box to the video where she made her clipboard, and just say something like Tina sent me so I know that you came from my channel, and subscribe, and I will pick out of those people. I'll have a drawing, and we will be giving this away in my very next video. Alright, if you happen to need any of the products I've used, Pentart, Paint Couture, Sweet Pickins Milk Paint, Fusion, IOD, or any decoupage papers, you can get that on rehatchdesigns.com. The link will be in the description box. $50 free shipping, flat rate shipping of $8 under $50. And anyway, I will see you guys again on my next video. I'm hoping to get another one out next Thursday, and maybe I'll sneak in another one sooner. And be looking for the new IOD Christmas release. That's going to be coming out any time now, guys. So it's going to be here any day. And I will definitely be having that and having some videos with that as well. All right, we'll see you again next time. Take care.